but I didn't know what was Islam. And I didn't know who was the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, until I arrived in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, about 6 years ago now.
Okay. So, I mean, what was your initial feeling that when you were told you were going to Saudi Arabia, which is known as a Muslim country with Islamic laws, how did you feel about that?
Well, you know, I had some nervousness about it. And my friends at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, they said, do you know what you're doing? You're putting yourself in harm's way. You're going to get kidnapped. Somebody's going to cut your throat. So when I arrived in Saudi Arabia, I was scared to death. I didn't know quite what to expect. But when I left the United States, I said, God, my mind is open. I don't know what is Islam.
SubhanAllah.
I've never been in an Islamic country before. And I don't know about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, but show me what is truth and what is not truth. And looking, nothing happened. People were coming out of their houses when they saw me, inviting me into their homes for tea and coffee.
SubhanAllah, the exact opposite.
Incredible. This was not what I expected.
Wow.
I had been in countries all over the world. I studied in Taiwan, in Russia, and different places. But never in my life have I been in any country that respected me as much as an American, and even as a Christian, as Saudi Arabia.
Wow. SubhanAllah, showing the manners of Islam even in our daily lives.
Finally, I walked to the mosque and I knocked on the door and I said, my name is Sam. I'm a Christian from the United States. Is it okay if I come inside? And the Muaddin, Shafiq Zubair, he hugged me. Wow. And he said, please, come in. And I sat there for 3 days in the back of the mosque, looking and observing and watching people pray. And then I asked Shafiq, can you teach me to pray like a Muslim? And he taught me the first surah of the Quran, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. It was such a blessing. I was memorizing only sounds, but then I would look and I would try to figure out what each sound meant, what each word meant. And as I studied it, I saw Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, grace and mercy, forgiveness of sins.
Wow.
My life was transformed immediately. It was the love of God and the love of the Muslims around me that drew me to Islam.
Excellent.
And I received a card that I was an official Muslim. I got in the car and went to Mecca immediately.
Wow.
And when I saw the Kaaba for the first time and fell on my knees and my face in prayer, it was there that I was just filled with God's Spirit and understood the love of Islam, the mercy of Islam for people everywhere.
SubhanAllah. And when you did go into Mecca and you went into the Kaaba, you mentioned your feelings when you saw the Kaaba itself, but what were your feelings like when you saw people stand for prayer, like thousands of people coming together and following instructions like that?
Well, it was invigorating. It was, I was enthused in my faith. I was confirmed in my faith by prayer at that time. And it was the first time for me to kneel and pray with other Muslims. It was a great experience. And Christians need to understand what is truly Islam. I was totally misled by what I saw in news reports in the West before I came to Saudi Arabia. But when I hear the Quran recited, it's miraculous. It's transforming. And I'm very grateful now to be a part of a historic faith that is known for its mercy and not its violence, was mischaracterized by Western media.
Of course, of course.
The first Ramadan was difficult for me. 30 days, sunrise to sunset, no food, no water. My body went through a period of shock. But the next year was easier, the next year was much easier, and now I look forward to Ramadan when I can, fast and worship God in this very important way.
Excellent. And not just the fasting, but also the atmosphere in Ramadan.
Yeah.
Like Muslims coming out, praying together, sitting together. And how does that feel?
Oh, it's incredible. It's like a family time within our mosque.